Why do people need Menis Yousry?
There is a lot of unresolved issues people carry in their lives. And a lot of people don't know they carry them. And it causes them a lot of stress. And it makes them not get what they want. And this is the area that I would really like to support people with. People don't actually need me, because I cannot do anything for anybody. But I help people to cross a gap that have fascinated me all my life. Most of us have an intention to be happy, to have a good relationship, to have a good family, to have money. But very few of us achieve that.
Why is that?
Because we're doing something that's stopping us getting what we want. But we don't know what we are doing. I am very realistic about my work. And it is very easy to read about it. It's very easy to explain it. It's very difficult sometimes for people to let go of something they're hanging on to it forever. And this is a mystery that I really don't understand. Why some people will not let go.
Can you give us an example?
The most common one is our relationship with our parents.
Okay.
And this is what probably 99% of my work around this area. Many of us, I really, honestly, I have not met many people who survive the childhood without any damage. Very few, really.
Even if the parents are well-intended?
The parents already damaged themselves.
Okay.
And if the parents have problems, the children automatically will have problems. And people don't realize that the parents didn't do anything to them. The parents did to them what happened to them. And very few people that realized that their parents did not love them. The parents could not love them. Can you see the difference? Parents, the people who think they are not loved, they don't realize that the parents could not love them. It's not that they did not love them.
It was not on purpose.
Not at all.
It just happened.
Nobody has a child to hurt. Nobody. It's against our evolution. But the parents who are not loved, or not connected, who are not being taken care of, it's very difficult for them to take care of their children. So if nobody connects with you, it's difficult for you to connect with anybody. If nobody loves you, it'll be very difficult for you to love anybody. If nobody take care of me, it's very difficult for me to take care of myself. And if I cannot take care of myself, I cannot take care of my children. It's exactly the same. If people just understand this, they will find peace with their parents. But it's very difficult to understand. I have a metaphor. Our relationship with our parents is like a bank account. As much as they received is as much they're going to spend. And as much love I received is exactly as much I'm going to spend. You cannot give anything to anybody you do not have. And I have met for years and years so many people so angry with their parents because if they feel entitled to be loved by their parents and be given everything when they don't realize that is not possible. And they live all their life thinking they can go back to the past and change it, or they live in the hope one day their parents will change to the parents they would like them to be.
Is there a communication that could teach the parent to be the parent that the kids is waiting for?
Not at all.
No.
It's too late. If I'm grown up, it's too late. The journey changes. My journey is to learn how to accept. Because if I have suffered injustice from my parents, if I don't accept it, I will be a freedom fighter the rest of my life. I will look for injustice everywhere, and injustice will attract me, and I will have an arena to fight for a cause the rest of my life. And we do this in relationships, in work, in politics, in wars. And I have a strange realization. The people who fight in a war, they fight in their parents. They don't fight anybody else. Because how come a certain religion has people who are angry and people who are not angry? How come certain situation makes some people angry and other people not angry? We are choosing how to respond to every situation based on our unfinished business from the past. And our parents are a very big part of this, unfortunately.
Because you mentioned wars and because this is the reality nowadays.
Yes.
And we hear between countries all kinds of tense moments and
Yes.
wars and fighting. Is there someone, do you think, is there someone who takes advantage of this past, the parents that this people has?
You see, something very important that people need, we need to learn about. Our personality structure is not formed until 5 or 6 years old. We learn relationships, we learn emotions, we learn connection before we learn how to think. So if early in my life, the person who loved me, took care of me, has been angry with me, or reject me, or hurt me, I will form a structure in my personality that this world is like that. Because our relationship to the people who brought us to life, look how our word's going to be, is our relationship to life. So our relationship with our parents is our relationship with life itself. So my relationship with life will be rejection and anger. And what's going to happen to me when I grow up, I will attract people and situations that will make me angry to continue living with the unresolved situation that I did not like. So if I'm in a country and there's a situation is not right, I will be the first one to fight. If I have peace in me, I will not be part of the war. People use religion, use culture, use situations, use injustice to fight for a cause. It has nothing to do with the cause, it's to do with themselves.
In a family, which relationship is most important? With your parents, with your husband or wife, with your kids?
The most critical is the mother, and then the father after.
Okay.
In fact, babies are programmed, even wired, to recognize the woman's face before a man's face. The relationship between mother and child, it's absolutely critical. The first year of our life decide all our whole entire life. It determines our relationships, our intelligence, our leadership style, our communication. Everything happened the first year.
What should a mother do to be or to have for her child the perfect future?
I can tell you it in one sentence only.
Okay.
Okay? And parenting programs don't work. Education doesn't work. Teaching parents what to do doesn't work. Nothing works. Even therapy sometimes doesn't work. The only thing that can work to have healthy children, and this is a dangerous statement I'm going to tell you, is to work on ourselves. And only ourselves. Because our children are the extension of our own consciousness. They are our unconscious. If anybody listening to this program now, if you want to learn about yourself, watch your children. They're expressing everything that you have not managed to resolve yet, because you have given it to them.
It's a cruel observation.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's also an opportunity for us to learn about ourselves. And I can show different dimension of this as I'm talking to you. I realized that my children criticized me for something I didn't like about my parents. How come? How come they saw in me what I didn't like about my parents? That means I have taken it from them. You see, the child comes to the world and they speak, they move, they learn. Everything from where? They copy their parents. It's as simple as that. There are ways to help our children, many ways. First, early days, every moments. Notice what happened when a child is born. The first moment, what do they do with the child? Who did he give it to?
The mother.
Why?
Because they need to create that connection after giving
You said
birth.
the most important word. Okay, our brain develops not only genetically, it needs another brain to train our brain to be in this world. And our first connection is the first training we have. If the mother is not connected to us, we suffer for life. And the mother can receive us, but she can still not connect with us if she's not connected to herself. The best training for anybody in the world to watch a mother and child. We, early stages of life, develop our right brain, which is our emotional brain, before we learn the cognitive structure to live in this world. So we learn about relationships before we learn how to speak. Okay? And I can show you. If you walk in the street and see a baby and you smile to the baby and they smile back to you, they don't understand who you are, they don't even know where they are. So how come they smile back at you? Emotionally, they develop, but not intellectually. See? So we learn what relationship is before we understand anything else. When we're happy, we react. So when we are in danger and react, we need somebody to come to us and tell us everything's okay. When we're happy, we also need someone to come to us and tell us it's okay also. And this is what we call in psychology regulation. So we need to be regulated by someone to teach us how to manage the world. You see? And the constant regulation by the parents teach the child to cope with life. And if the parent is not regulated in themselves, they cannot regulate the child. The constant repetition of regulation, yes, develop structure in the child to cope with life. And that structure is staying with everybody until today. So everyone has a structure, has a protection, how to cope with life based on the amount of regulation they receive from their parents. You see? Okay. If I am vulnerable in the relationship, something goes wrong, and I learned that nobody is there for me, I will not speak. Or I will run away from the relationship.
I understand.
Or I can be angry, yes? And my partner will do the same. So there's two words I'd like to make it clear to you. We must learn to show our emotions to our partner. We must learn to be vulnerable. And I would say to people, don't be afraid to be afraid, because the source of the human problems, we are afraid to be afraid. So if I'm in a relationship, I must allow my partner to take care of me, and I must allow myself to take care of my partner. So you remember I talked about this regulation?
Yes.
With parent and child? We do it with our partner also. If I do this with my partner, when my partner is in trouble, I'm there for them. And when I'm in trouble, I show them I'd like them to be there for me. We become the example of regulation to our children. And we become to feel safe, and they feel safe automatically. But at the moment, the parents are focused on the children much more and to each other. And most amount of divorce happen in the first 2 years because one of the parents, especially the mothers, focus on a child and forget the relationship. Okay. It's absolutely...
The husband is on second place.
Second place.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely fatal mistake. And I tell you why. We must honor the first person who come to our life, not the second person. Everybody has a place. The partner came first and a child after. And if I make one of my children as my partner, the relationship is over. And the responsibility on the child is much higher.
Yes.
Because really, how can a parent allow one of the children to take responsibility for them? And the pattern I have seen in the seminars, when the parents cannot or do not take responsibility of the life, the children take it for them. They take it when they're small. In life, when we are in trouble, we do one of two things. We regulate ourselves unconsciously or consciously. Most people regulate themselves unconsciously. Unconsciously mean I'll make myself busy, I work too hard, I have a hobby, I go on the computer for hours. I am numbing myself up.
I play sort of hide and seek with my problems.
Yes, yeah, I do all sorts of things because I don't want to feel the pain of separation.
So could this entire problem disappear or not even appear if we find the right partner? So, or
there is no right partner. Everybody is the right partner.
Okay.
The relationship is not with the other person. It's with ourselves. Mm-hmm. If I have unfinished business, I'll see it in every partner. The parents' tool the parenting tool is their consciousness. The leader's tool is their consciousness. The successful businessman or businesswoman is her consciousness. Because what we say in our conversation when we talk to each other is very little. The content is very little, but the quality is very high. Mm-hmm. There's two different things. When we interact with anybody, we interact in two ways, content and quality. The content is probably 5% or 1%. The quality is 95%. And the quality of our connection is our consciousness. So the parents don't need to learn anything. They need to be something for the child to be that. The home of the family is made up of like an atmosphere. They call it an energy field. They call it a psychic field. There are many names to it. The atmosphere of the home is made up of the consciousness and the unconsciousness of the parents. Their beliefs, their idea is in the atmosphere. Like in this library, it has an atmosphere of knowledge. You walk here, you can be a little bit more intelligent, I think. So the child who comes into this atmosphere, yes, has no power to change the atmosphere. See? That atmosphere becomes the child's world.
It's like an imprint.
Yes. So if you walk in a house now and energy is not very good, you can say something wrong and I want to leave. The child doesn't have that choice. A child go into the atmosphere and that becomes where they learn everything about life. They don't have the capability to question it or change it. And this is made up of the parents' consciousness. So I would say to anybody watching this program, the best healing and work you can offer your children is your own consciousness. You see, I worked as a family therapist for years in the NHS, in National Health Service in England. And I had this situation that come up a lot. Parents come to me and tell me, my child is late every day for school and he doesn't want to go early. What can I do? We tried this, we tried this, we tried this. And then I look at the parent and say, I found out the parents, they come in late for the sessions themselves. And I tell one of the parents, are you always on time? No. So how did the child learn that? From you. So what do you need to do?
What do you think about this trend, let's say, in this modern society of using therapy, of going to therapists?
In the beginning of humanity, people lived in groups because we need each other to survive, because safety is a number. If we don't, somebody will eat us.
Okay.
So we seek comfort, connection from each other as a group. We started to move on. We didn't need this protection of the group so much because technology gave us more power. We formed families to seek connection and love. Families started to fall apart because we're moving on. So we're looking for relationships to be connected to someone and feel safe with someone. Now relationships are falling apart. What is next? Therapy is next.
Yeah.
Therapy is paying for love and safety in relationship. And I think it's very sad.
It's paying for someone to ask you, how are you?
Absolutely.
One day.
You're paying for someone to be kind to you. You're paying for someone to be patient with you.
So how can we bring together people with the same goal of communicating better, of connecting better? Because if you want for yourself to change something or to change yourself and you just have walls around you, I don't think that you will succeed.
This is why
How can we find the right persons around us?
A right person? But first of all, this is why I do my courses. Because I bring the people together like in the very beginning how it was. We can find the right person if we work on ourselves and deal with the issues we're carrying from the past that we cannot let go of. Because it's unbelievable how the things I have seen work. I've been working with people for 30 years now. Unbelievable how we scan the environment and we pick the person who has the issues that we cannot resolve yet. If you resolve it, these people will not appear. And if they appear, they have no room to be with you. And if they appear and you connect with them, you will be able to manage them.
Okay. Is there a way to success? People don't have patience nowadays.
This is part of the problem. Our beliefs get stronger every day. Did you know that? Because they're reinforced. Because this is what we believe is true and we are proven as true. Now, how can I expect to change something after it's been reinforced for 30 or 40 years? Impossible. Everything is becoming fast nowadays. And now we have a lot of information. The more we learn, the less we feel, and the answer is in our feelings, not in our thinking. Because everything happened to us come in the feeling level. It's in our unconscious mind, in the right brain. And our right brain is connected to every move we make, every action we take.
So what's the most important, the heart or the brain?
They are both very important. But it's like I prefer to use left and right side of the brain.
Okay.
The right side has all our emotions and feeling. The right is the practical side. Emotions don't know they exist. The left side of the brain, it knows that we're here. So our emotion doesn't know it exists, so it keeps running and running and running all the time. And it's activated by life situations and reactive situations.